What's up, Gripsters and random YouTubers? Evan here for Grips.com, and this series is about to come to its exciting conclusion. 5 Sundays ago, Team Grips member Mario Mosbach shipped the Big Ben on Full Tilt Poker for just over 17K. He played like a champ and earned every penny. It's been a fantastic run, and there has been lots of great stuff to learn from. This is going to be the final installment of Mario's Road to Riches. However long it takes to get through this five-handed play, we're going to do it. This will probably end up being the longest part of the series, but hey, short-handed at the end of a tourney is where all the money's made, so it's worth the watch. Grab some popcorn, get comfy, enjoy. We just lost a big pot, and we're gonna see Mario on the comeback trail. We're gonna see how well he keeps his cool on his way to the win. As for reads, the guy to our right with all the chips has been pretty aggressive, mixing some late 3-bets and defending his blinds. Yargin on our left has also been fairly active, and the other two players have been on the tighter side. xxmmarioxx, this is the first big pot he's won, and I don't think I've seen anything from Dodovic. So for now, we'll just assume he's tight until we see otherwise. If you haven't watched the previous parts, I really would encourage you to. This may be the most exciting part of the series, but it's really important to understand how we reached this point. Anyway, cards in the air. Let's watch the fun unfold. We don't need to play. We gotta protect our stack. We have 18 blinds. We don't really want to raise to steal. We're just hoping to pick up a strong hand that we can go with and try to double. So, facing a button open, 17 blinds, 2 face cards. That's good enough. We're ready to shove it in. We'll take a fold or we'll take a gamble. Same thing here. We know that Emil's opening pretty wide, and we just want to take that 40K in the middle. That's a big chip up for us. It's like 20%. It's pretty significant. All right, 2 queens. We're going to go for the steal, the value steal, that is, and get it through. Okay. I imagine Mario's going to peel, getting a good price here. Pretty strong hand, and then just check fold on that flop. With 25 bigs, we don't necessarily want to just like shove it in there. This isn't the time to be gambling like crazy. We really want to try to pick the best spots to chip up in small ways. Here we flop an ace, and Mario's just going with the pot control approach. I like it. And nice pot. Back in the game, we're no longer in last place, and we're getting close to the other guys. 30 to 50 blinds. It's kind of a competitive range. It's a good place to be. Probably not feeling too much pressure. I imagine Mario's pretty calm and collected at this point. We get a walk? A mill. I'm shocked. I guess we earned it by 3-betting him. They're reshoving on him back-to-back hands. What happened there? Just a little check raise on a dry board. Love it. So we get 3-bet, and we know that Yargin's been mixing up with the 3-bets, so are we going to play back? And take a flop. Flop pretty good, and I would imagine with this good of equity, we just need a check shove. If he has a strong hand, that's okay. We have like 12 outs. Plus maybe the queen's good, and that's a pretty good chance at winning. So, it's about a pot-sized bet for the check shove. So seems like the play. Let's get all the money in with 2 cards to come before we see a bad card that either slows down our action or just takes our equity in half. And now we're right back in it. It didn't even take very long. We're back in the game. xxmmarioxx trying to battle. Yargin having none of it. And Yargin really getting on there with his 3-bets, which it's a good strategy. It's tough to battle with, but you got to have good timing. You got to have a good feel for it. If you learn about 3-betting and you just start 3-betting a bunch, you're probably going to find that your timing's off the first few times. I think here we just have to call. xxmmarioxx wants to take the lead away. That's fine. We have a really strong hand. that we're not folding, and if he has something decent, we want to let him think that it's good and maybe keep betting. Make ourselves look like we have a 10x. Could be that he's doing this play because he thinks we're c-betting this board a lot and we don't have spades too often and we have to fold to his lead. It's pretty interesting. And do you guys shove or do you guys call? We only lose to 2 hands. And you could have a 2 pair. To be in the final table, it's a little tough because if he happens to have you coolered, you don't want to be out of the game. You may just want to call and still have 15, 16 big blinds if you happen to be wrong. But Mario wants his value. He wants to get paid. And I back it. I support it. Oh wow, look at him going off in the chat. Fold. I got you. Fold. Fold your queen. Look at this trash talker. I like it. I hope he also trash talks when he's bluffing, otherwise that's a bit of a tell, but it seems like Mario, you know, like he had his confidence up. He was really on point. He was feeling this tournament. It shows in his play, and take another hand. A little bit of swag. We see Emil. He's opening pretty wide. Let's look at that whole hand again. C-bet. And Jargon, check raising the 2 overcards and shutting down. So as I mentioned, those guys, they like to battle. And we'll try to steal C-bet. Seems like everyone's check raising these dry boards. How would you guys adjust to that? How would you change your game plan and your C-betting strategy when people are, oh, we just went all in? I think with how we've been playing, that flatting is cool here. Keeping a lot of dominated hands. With it only being 20 blinds, though, can't ever be that bad to just shove it in with the king-queen. Got unlucky and ran into ace-queen. And, oh, ugh, so close. Okay. Take one off, let these guys battle it out. Ooh. Now here, with, what's he got, 13 blinds? Dodowicz should probably just reshove this in. He has a very strong hand and a king 10 suited. He's facing button range that's going to be pretty wide. There's 66,000 out there. He can increase his stack 30% if he gets a fold. And when called, he's still going to have a decent chance of winning. So I think the play here is to just shove it in pre. I guess he got greedy, wanted to trap a c-bet out of our man Jargon too, and decided with 2 overcards he'd go for it. I understand the play. And every time Jargon doesn't have a premium hand or didn't hit this flop, it's a bigger chip up than it would be if he just reshoved pre-flop. And he may also get some more fold equity because hands like ace-5 they may have called pre-flop will have to like bet fold this flop. So the more I look at it, the more it's like, it's kind of cool, but you should probably just ship that shit in pre. And he ran into it, and now we're 4-handed. 2 short stacks, 2 big stacks. But we got 20 big blinds. We just got to work it. Probably shove here. I don't think Emil's limping in to trap us, so should just take the money that's out there. Love it. I was gonna say, I don't see why we didn't raise the ace-8, but I see that we were limping to limp shove because we know that our man Jargon is aggressive and he's going to attack our limp. So this is a great play. Instead of picking up 32K, we pick up 52K. It's great. Well timed, well played. 2 kings. Tough spot. Just kidding. What a cooler. KK. Alright, now we're 3-handed. and things are going to get interesting. I'm not surprised at all that we ended up three-handed with the two most aggressive players on the final table. Because typically, as I was saying earlier in the video, in the last part, the aggressive players are going to be the ones who make it to the end, unless they run really bad. So if you take nothing else from this video, but I'm sure you will, it's better to play this splashy, aggressive style than a weak, passive, tight style. Okay. Just call. You know, betting seems fine. Probably have the best hand. On that particular turn, I think check calling could be okay. And Mario asking for the chop, or like some sort of a chop, which is fine because full tilt's like really top heavy in their payout structure, but Jargon's just over it. He's saying, nah, let's go. And it's funny, like, for some reason, it seems like usually the guy who refuses, Mill too, to do the chop, just somehow ends up getting like karma coolered and taken out of the tourney. But we'll see what happens. Top pair, c-bet's good. I think on that turn, probably check back with the intention of calling the river. Like, because, well, this sucks, but are we trying to get him to fold an 8? Are we trying to get him to fold a better queen? Like, if we didn't have a queen, this is a great card to two-barrel, but with the particular holding that we have, it probably makes more sense to just try to get this thing to showdown. Check back, and on the river, we'll just call a bet. We beat all his gut shot floats. We beat his 8Xs, his ace highs, and if he has a better queen, we lose less. And we also just don't welcome this possibility of getting check raised, because that's just an unfortunate situation to be in, and there's not much you can do. And against aggressive players, they're going to make moves on those scare cards, so you don't really want to give them the opportunity to do so. Okay. Definitely raise the queen jack. Just take a... Why did we raise this one? I don't understand why we didn't take the free flop there. And again, I don't know how much three-handed Mario is played. And the more short-handed you get, the more difficult it is to play. And the more just kind of like situational and read-based your plays are going to be. So, you know, I don't understand exactly what's going through his head at this point. But I know that it's a tough situation to be in. It's high stress when you're three-handed, so you just kind of go with your gut. I think I like a check back on that last hand on the turn. I don't think I would fire two barrels. The board tripping up on the turn just makes it such that our opponent's not really going to fold much of anything. And we know that Emil likes to fight. He doesn't like to fold. Okay. On 30 blinds, I don't see another play other than 3-betting these kings. Obviously, there is the option to call, try to let him hit a pair and extract some value, but I think three-handed. Raising there and just hoping that he has something strong is good. We haven't seen him 4-bet yet, but I'm sure he has that capability, given the way he's talking. Okay, so blinds up. We got about 30. Jargon has 35. Emil has 42. I think for this price with this hand, calling seems okay, especially three-handed. Mario opts to fold. I mean, King 5 suited's a pretty good hand three-handed, and you're getting a pretty good price. Imagine we 3-bet, 25 blinds, shove is good. You know, just keep the decisions as easy as possible. When you're up against players who are going to put you in a tough spot, it's always fine to just go with the math. If you don't want to have to deal with like really tough decisions or thinking things out, the math will never let you down. It may not necessarily give you like the most profitable long run play, but you can know that you're not making a losing play if you just go with the math. Here we 3-bet, and obviously with ace jack, we're not 3-betting to fold in a 3-handed game. So a little scary when he shoves it in, but you know, he can have stuff like deuces. And this is a big flip that we really need. And since you guys know that we win this tournament, well, no surprise there. We hit that board, and suddenly the game just changed a lot. We have 60 bigs. Emil has 10 bigs. Jargon has 35. We can really start applying some pressure. So I'd like to see some raising takes. Call off 10 blinds. No need to let him back in the game. Decent price, and might be dominated some of the hands that he has. That's probably a close one. I'd love to hear the tourney math guys break that one down. Let me know if it's a snap or what. Because I don't play too much 3-handed myself either. So we got an all-in, and we are now heads up for all the money. Pretty exciting. And the heads-up match is going to be not too long, but we'll see. We know Jargon's aggro, and I have no idea what Mario's strategy is going to be heads up, whether he's going to raise like 50% of buttons, 100% of buttons, or what. We'll just watch and find out. Definitely like to see a raise here. Asked for the chop, and does Jargon say no? The ego on this guy, you know? He must just think he's that much better, because the thing is, Mario is actually offering a chop on when he has a chip lead. This nice. And the guy just doesn't even respond. But as I said, sometimes the guys who he's down a look, okay. The guys who are unwilling to do a deal or unwilling to chop, somehow the poker site's just like, you know what? Screw you, man. We're letting the other guy win. He's a better dude. He's a nice guy. Curious as to why we check back on that flop. Pretty dry. Okay. And I can't analyze the heads-up play too much. I'll look at it and do my best, but it's not really my strong suit, and a lot of these hands are just raise and takes, and why he opted to check raise this board, I'm not sure. I think I'm really going to let Mario kind of talk this one out. Mario, please blow up the comments. Let us know about the heads up play. And I mean, if the guys really want to get a full insight, maybe we'll have Mario do a little commentary on this heads up match, what he was thinking and why he did what he did. Because, you know, I only know what I've seen. I don't know the exact dynamic between these guys. Raise call. So we bet the turn. He raises. That's kind of scary, but what hand would he check back the flop and then raise the turn? Like Jack 9, King 9. Like, he's probably not doing this with Queen 10. I imagine he bet the flop with Queen 10. So we river 2 pair. We now beat Jack 9. Yeah, I'd have a hard time finding a fold here. Really? Check back the straight draws. That's strong. Yeah, even I'm confused. And it's important to play deceptively heads up, because it's all about tricking your opponent and trying to out-level your opponent, get in their head and try to get them to make the wrong decisions. Oh, we're definitely all in with ace queen. Here we're opening king 7. You could bet, you could check. And straight draw, I imagine we're gonna bet. Check raise, and then blast. You get hero called by a 10. Like, speechless. Okay, so we're down at 10-1 underdog. Time to win every showdown. King 7, Ace 3. No problem. King 8. Okay. Steal. Yeah, we're in. King Queen. Queen 5. Ooh, top pair. Yeah, we got a suited ace heads up. 20-something bigs. We're all in. Let's go. Top pair again. At this point, we have won 8 hands in a row. Let's go for 12. Ooh, nice trap. Check back on the flop. No, the guy just floated and then started leading because he turned a straight draw. A good barrel card. Mario doesn't fold though. He's a non-believer. Nice call. So we finally lost one. But stacks are back to even. And even though Jargon's been giving us a hard time, well, you know what? Sometimes you run good. And Mario's been playing pretty well in this heads-up match. I want to give him some credit. I've definitely seen a couple of things that were questionable, but we also don't understand the dynamic exactly of what was going on between these two players. So we aren't inside their heads. And we also don't know what it feels like necessarily to be in this situation of playing heads up for what's probably about 5K. I'd imagine first was 17, second was about 12. So a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, just a lot of stuff going on. And obviously you're going to make some mistakes when that's the situation. And are we all in? We're just peeling, flopping trips. Call. And again, that check back on the turn. I'm curious as to why we don't just bet the turn. And again, telling him to fold it. Calls with ace high. I guess that's why we check back the turn, but thinking about river cards and stuff, I'm very interested to hear why Mario opted to check back that turn instead of betting. Mario, you're going to have to do a lot of work in the comments on this part 5 here. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who has questions. I'm sure a lot of the viewers want to know why you did this and why you did that as well. So I can't promise Mario is going to answer everyone's questions, but feel free to bombard him. Get him thinking. And great hand. You're all in. Well, we'd never fold something this strong heads up, so good luck, Jargon. Just kidding. Hit your guts. Want to see you lose. Brick that board. Brick that board. GG, that's how it's done, folks. That is how you win a $100 tournament for 17 Gs. Little bit of luck, a lot of skill. There were a few times where in this series we got very lucky, especially at the end here. But for the most part, like if you notice, Mario did a good job of like steady chipping up, steady cruising, playing a lot of small pots and medium-sized pots, keeping his variance down. He took that small ball approach rather than that long ball approach, which is the way to really do well consistently in tournaments, is to develop a strong small ball approach to the game. Anyway, big congratulations to Mario. Big congratulations to Mario. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ecstatic for you. I'm sure the entire community, the Grips Poker Training community, is ecstatic for you and really pumped up. I hope that this video series has inspired you guys to really take the knowledge that you've gotten and like put it to work and get the same kind of results, because it is possible. It's not just a pipe dream. If you work at it and develop your game and then put in your time at the tables and keep playing solid and keep getting better, eventually this can happen to you too. So I hope you enjoyed this series, and I hope that you can put these tips and tricks to work in your game. If you haven't already, Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can catch all upcoming videos and series. This won't be the only time that a big win gets reviewed. And if you have a hand history of you winning an MTT that you want reviewed, you want a little Grips poker training spotlight time on YouTube, please send it to evan@grips.com. But just so I don't get a million emails, I will make the requirements that the tournament had at least 200 entrants and that the first place prize was at least $5K. I hope you guys understand, and I hope you guys find that fair. You know, my inbox only has so much space, and I want to show you guys the tournaments that you guys really want to see. But you know, maybe we can do a poll too and mix it up. Maybe once in a while we'll throw in a smaller buy-in tournament or a smaller field tournament. You know, let me know in the comments what you guys really want to see, and we will try to put the content together if you guys help me, so that we can give you, you know, that complete package, everything you need to become the player that you want to be. And speaking of being the player that you want to be, as always, make sure you guys get talking in the comments so that you can get the maximum learning experience from watching this video. Remember, passive observation is a great starting point, but asking questions and getting involved in constructive discussion is where the real learning happens. Don't just, I've said this every video, but don't just talk about the times that we got lucky and won flips. That's just something that happens in the game. Try to notice the little things that really made a difference in helping our hero achieve victory and talk about those. All right, that's going to do it for me. It's been a hell of a series, and I can't wait for the next one. But I got to go take care of some other stuff in the meantime, like Project Get Me Stacking. Speaking of Project Get Me Stacking, it's your turn, guys. Take it, go out there, and get stacking.